that's it. Enough of this silliness. Okay, great music, fantastic for kids stuff, but I've listened to it about 10 times now and I'm kind of over it. Hi, I'm John Bartman and I show up here 2 p.m. UTC weekdays to package and create templates and compose music live. If you dig what I'm doing, drop a message in the chat, subscribe, share, etc. There's also a link to the free stuff that I've done in the YouTube description. Go check that out. Today, we're going to be continuing from yesterday. I was busy packaging this template that we're working on in Ableton right now. It's a piece of kids music. It's one of my more popular pieces. And I'm working on getting all of these music template files available to patrons and also to the music tracks available sort of, no copyright style. So the idea here is that if you're interested in how other producers are making their music and you want to kind of head start, you don't want to start with a blank page, then this is a good channel for you. So it looks nice. I've color coded it nicely. I've got all of the channels basically ready and portable. What do I mean by portable? Well, there are no external VSTs being used, no external software instruments, and no missing samples. So when you download and import it into your own copy of Ableton, you should have no problems loading it and getting going editing with it. So let's do one more thing. Collect all and save is going to import all the necessary samples from other locations on my computer and make sure they're part of this portable live project. One other thing I want to do, which I often do with these projects, is I go to manage project and just make sure all the files, the unused files, are deleted, because if they're not needed, it's just an extra 70 or 80 megs of space that's being used. So that's going to end up in this pack and not needed. You don't need to download stuff you're not going to use. So first let's just check it out. So I should say show files. These are the 5 files, 76 megs, that are not being used, that are being included in this project. Turns out they actually are useful. They are the stems that I've exported. And if you look into my actual project folder, let's just check this out. I'll load it up for you in just a moment. There. This is my Windows folder, and you'll see there are the files. So Ableton's clever enough to scan the whole directory and tell you what's not being used. Mad Hatter Tea Party, as you can see here, sorry, there we go. This is the original folder. I'm going to delete that. And what we're going to do next is zip this up and upload it to Gumroad and Patreon, which are my 2 main sources of distributing this stuff. I've got challenges with Gumroad, and I will explain that in a minute. Check this out. This is the spreadsheet that I use to keep track of what has already been done and what still needs to be done. So some of these tunes, this is all this year. I've got stuff going back 4 years, a different spreadsheet, but I just wanted to kind of standardize it and make this information available to anyone downloading the templates. So there's a lot of metadata that goes with the templates, and I will add the work that I'm doing into this file as we go. What are you doing today? If you've just joined or if you're new to the channel, I'd love to hear what you are up to and what you normally do at this time in your time zone. So drop me a message in the chat and let me know what you're up to. I love chatting to people while I work. Not going to use this bad boy much today. Well, sometimes I just leave it on just so I can noodle around while I'm waiting for something to export or whatever, but okay. And speaking of which, let us do a collect all and save on this. That's pretty much done. So next up, I'm going to navigate to project folder, and I'm going to create a zip file out of this. 7-zip it to Mad Hatter Tea Party template. Whoop-de-doo. Now we've got Mad Hatter Tea Party template.zip. Okay, next step, that goes into Patreon. So I'm going to create a Patreon page. Sorry, I'm going to access my Patreon page. This is typically how I do it. Let's get that into a way that you can see. Cool. 0 patrons at the moment. Just started the live streaming every day. If you want to be my first patron, come check out what's on offer. Next thing I'm going to do is find the post that I want to duplicate. So let's open that in a new window and then create a new post. Let's just zoom out a little bit here so you can see what I'm doing. Boom. Okay, cool. Me on the left and everything else on the right. Okay, so one thing I forgot what to do is to consult the spreadsheet on what actually needs to happen next. So let me go back there. Not published switch. Okay, cool. So I've got these columns here. Is the master exported? Is the video done? Have I done a collect all and save? Have I made sure that all the VSTs are deleted, etc.? These are the steps that I've got to take every time I export a new template. So let's open up products again. Make sure this is going to be, I'm going to have to re-export that because I wasn't really paying attention. Let's open up Mad Hat to Tea Party in Ableton again. And when that loads, we'll have to go through these steps over here to export the template. So yeah, today not a lot of composition going on. It's more of an admin thing, but I just show up and I basically share my admin, show you guys what I'm doing, how I export these templates, what kind of level of quality you can expect when you download them. Cool. So first things first, I've got to actually just delete the Restream plugin, which is hidden behind me right now, because let me show you what that looks like. This plugin over here, its only purpose is to allow you to hear the contents, the audio contents on the stream. Now that I'm done with that, I can delete it. So you don't need that anymore. I also see one or two unused effects over there. We can kill all of those and save it. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is record a video that... oh wait, let me undo all that stuff. I need this Restream plugin for one more thing. I'm going to record a video which demonstrates what exactly is in this project. So this is the one that goes on YouTube, and what you'll see is I'm going to click through and show the user every single item that on every single track, including these sends over here, that they can see, that so that everybody can see that there are no external plugins being used and there are no missing samples, and it's basically just all default Ableton effects. That's how I do it. And if you navigate to my YouTube channel, you'll see the last recent batch of videos is this exactly demonstrating how it works. So I am now gonna just set up Restream again so that it's got local broadcast enabled. Yeah, you should hear that. And now I'm gonna go quiet and record this video for like 2 minutes. Here we go. Cool, that is that. Wow, okay. First time I didn't get it because it started looping. I had to be quicker, basically. Right on. So now I've got a video that is stored on my drive that I can upload to YouTube. But I also need it for Patreon. So let's get on Patreon right now. If you just joined, what I'm doing is packaging templates for Ableton users. So people who want to make their own music but don't want to start with a blank page, this is a good channel for you. And I show up here 5 days a week, 2 p.m. UTC. And what I'm going to do next is follow along with a spreadsheet and basically get the music template online. So first things first, I've done the master track, I've exported that. I've just recorded the video. I did earlier do a collect all and save, which consolidates all your missing samples or scattered samples into the actual Ableton project folder. Delete VST is just make sure there are no third-party VSTs, so you have to bounce those things to audio, those parts to audio, including the restream VST, which allows this stream that you're watching to get audio. Sometimes I leave that in by mistake. And then when the user opens this Ableton project, the template, they get a missing VST error, which is not ideal. So make sure I delete the VST. Then it's upload to YouTube and upload to Patreon. BPM and key, I managed to not find out what that was yet again. Although I think I've got it in a previous version. So let's go Mad Hatter Tea Party. All of that is done. I can just copy that over there. Just double check the key of this project. Might need to just get the help of my piano over here. Cool. 130 BPM. That's the key over there. Boo. Come on, it's an F by the sounds of it. Yeah. Cool. Save that. Yeah, save changes. Cool. Cool, so that's done. Key is F and tempo is 130. So welcome to this stream where I do a bit of admin, but at least someone's showing you how to go about this, making a little bit of side hustle cash from your music. You can release templates of the music that you've composed. If it's distinctive enough, over time you'll probably find, as I have, that people will hunt down really niche genres and demand them for their own productions. Cool, so I have now done 4 out of those 5 steps, and the next step is to create the post on Patreon. So first things first, I want to include the video I've just recorded. So let's find that. And I'm just going to double check it's the right one. Yeah, it's this one over here. And it's called Mad Hatter Tea Party. Okay. Let's get that over into there. Oops, looks like it's failed. It says drag drop files to upload. I just missed the uploader. Cool. Next up, I'm going to literally copy all of this stuff from Hustlin' Broadway. I'm going to copy this post content over here, paste it into the new one. And we don't need the title there. Cool. And we're going to just change out the title to Mad Hatter Tea Party. This helps obviously with a little bit of SEO, but mostly it's about finding those connections, releasing the music via Patreon, so people can, like, slowly over time you build up a community of people who do use these templates. Now this is part of the early work, so there isn't actually a theme for this. There isn't a collection for this, should I say. Some of the stuff I'm making nowadays I included in its own Patreon product, which is, I can show you now, it's going to be the page that this Hustlin' Broadway links to when you click on that link download template. I've set up an individual product for all of the tracks like Hustlin' Broadway, which are part of that collection. But because Mad Hatter Tea Party isn't part of any collection, it's just kind of an early single, I won't have this product page. So there's no need to direct people to this page to get the full download of say 10 tracks, I'm just going to sell it individually basically, or provide access to it individually. So that means what we got to do next is actually create the product that the user gets once they download or become a patron. So now that I've finalized the Ableton project itself, I'm going to create the template. If you've just joined, or if you're interested in what I'm doing, I'm putting together music templates for sale and for download for patrons. So let's get that going. First things first, upload attachments. I want to go and find Mad Hatter Tea Party zip, open, and make sure that finds its way into a Patreon post. And don't forget to change out the key and tempo info for producers. And what you will get is not actually 10 master files at all. It's going to be just the single track. So I've actually got to change that. I should have copied different text. I'm creating work for myself here. I copied text from a product which is less similar. I'm now going to go and fetch the text from a product which is more similar. What does that mean? You'll see now. Patreon's a little bit slow on the upload. Cool. So at the moment I am just in the process of publishing a new Patreon post with the music template for Mad Hatter Tea Party. This is the first time I've released this template. It's one of my most popular tracks. It's definitely in the top 10 over the last couple of years of people that have downloaded it. And I've seen a lot of videos for kids' parties and that kind of thing that have used it in the past. Okay, so this is the text that I should have copied. You will get just the Ableton 11 project. Same with this one, just the Ableton 11 project. And there you can see are the individual files. So this is what I'm doing. I'm offering the file itself in the Patreon post. I'm not linking to a separate production. And I've just realized now I've actually got to make an edit to this because I haven't included the files themselves. Okay, let's come back to that. Mad Hatter Tea Party is currently uploading, and then we can delete this You'll Get heading over here. Cool. So if you're interested in making a little bit of side hustle cash with your music, you'll probably have realized that Spotify is not the way to do that. You don't get really much for even 100,000 streams. You're not going to pay your salary, and it's a very quick spike. Whereas releasing this type of curated, handcrafted, and human-made content tends to have the opposite sort of graph of growth. It tends to grow and discover it. So it's a long tail as opposed to a short head. So I'm an advocate of this style of monetization, where you're slowly over time building up your asset base and your community and your earnings, as opposed to just going for whatever's in vogue now and chasing trends and trying to compete and outcompete usually by watering down your product and making it like as accessible as possible. It works for some people, but those are the lucky people. This strategy, the advantage of reaching people slowly over time and providing quality, is that you actually get user feedback over time. You're not just guessing what's going to work or not. So people start to tell you, hey, you should do this, hey, you should do that. And that's the feedback that I've incorporated in this stream, is starting to listen to people and go, okay, you want tutorial videos on how to create that sound? Great. Oh, you want more 90s stuff? That's great. Start to actually like hone the product to fit the demand rather than kind of just spray and praying and, guessing and pleasing the masses. So this is very, very niche stuff. I know there are probably only about 100 people in the world who will ever become a patron of this page. But I mean, if that's $600 a month for me, that makes it worthwhile, It's a lot of work, but I enjoy connecting with people who are of like minds like this. And it results in the occasional commission or license. I'm just going to write a little bit here. The kids' music that plays on a loop and haunts your dreams forever. Perfect kids party music that plays on a loop and haunts your dreams forever. Right, cool. I think the parents and events organizers will get a kick out of that. Those are the people I'm really trying to reach here. while that's uploading, I'm going to continue with the tick off 1 or 2 boxes here, and then it's basically done. Let's also get Mad Hatter Tea Party, sorry, a Happy Clappy in here. And all of that is done except for Patreon. Cool. And then you got to update some of the links in, you know, YouTube, and make sure that it's being directed to the right place. Is Happy Clappy really? I don't have the info there. Okay. Cool. Now, why is this not playing? Because I've got to enable. Oh, these guys got to come up. Oh, cool. And then these guys got to come up. Yeah. That should work. Oh, here's something. There we go. Cool. We did a gig on the weekend. Did 2 gigs on the weekend. And you should hear some piano now. Cool. So while that's uploading, I'm just going to noodle around. Here we go. On your side too. Okay, we've got a problem with the upload. Why? It's unusual. Cool. And then you got publish options for that Happy Clappy. We're going to just stick to paid members, so anyone who's paid gets the whole easy to use template themselves. They can release it, remix it. We use it for client work, even if it's commercial client work. So yeah, that's it. The other advantage to Patreon is you kind of need to do this with everything that you release, but you've got to have a constant output, because when users land on your page, you don't want them to see something that was like, you know, your most recent post was like, you know, even like 3 weeks ago. That's like, unless you're releasing something really like that takes a lot of time, that's just going to reflect badly on how often you post. Like literally 2-3 times a week is what Patreon advises. I can't put out that amount of music, so I'm aiming for like 1 a week religiously. At the moment I'm doing quite well with like 2 a week, because I'm going through my back catalog. So let's go, let me just find out when the upcoming posts are, so I can not publish 2 and 3 in one day and then suddenly have nothing for 3 weeks. Okay, so we published one yesterday, and there is a scheduled post, I think, coming up. They need to make it more clear where your kind of creator dashboard is. It's not really that obvious. That's just color picker, create post, collection shop, about, membership. See, like right now, what I want to do is find my scheduled posts. So link, video. Easy to use music. Why are there only 2 being view posts from other tiers? This is crazy. They should all be in this tier. Okay, I've got some issues to sort out here with I think I know what's going on. Alright. So you only get these posts once you pay, which is fine. Okay, right. I'm figuring this out. Cool. So this is not actually, forward back kick is not a free one, it's a paid one. So it needs to be, but then you select, yeah, it needs to be for paid members only, basically, yeah. So if anyone was a patron up until a minute ago, you would have gotten that one for free. unfortunately, I just found out that that was a problem. So I got to go do a little bit of work on Patreon, but the big picture here is like, it's not about individual days or individual streams or anything. It's about finding a rhythm and sticking to it, being consistent. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to schedule this happy clappy one for let's say December. I think about 15th is fine. Good. Ableton and template. So that those would be the two keywords that you find or search for. And then let's just make sure that these are, that gets used on there. Yeah. Sorry, this dark reader sometimes incorrectly ticks checkbox, so that's fine. Cool. Schedule there. All right, so December 14th at 4 p.m. that will go live. You can also make it a early release for patrons if that's also something you do. And so you can start to see what the big picture is here. Like over the last 3 months, I've been slowly releasing. So it's August 24th, again August 24th, then September 27th, bit of a break, then September 29, then October 10, October 13, 20, 24, November 16, 21, yesterday, so the 27th, Huston Broadway, and now we've got one coming up in December 14th. So you can kind of see the picture here. It's going to be steady releases, one a week if possible. Let's actually get Mad Hatter Tea Party a week earlier, I think. Yeah, just try and keep it on one a week. Cool. And with that out of the way, we then head back over to the not published list, and we say, right, Patreon done, finished, Mad Hatter Tea Party done. I don't have it on YouTube yet. That's what's next. So actually these two columns should be different. Sorry, they should be the other way around. Now I wonder if YouTube Studio allows you to upload while you're doing a live stream. That would be pretty cool. Be pretty cool of you, YouTube. Okay. What are we doing next? We are uploading videos, and I'm going to select the files that I want to upload. So that's Mad Hatter Tea Party. Cool. I'm just going to show you what's going on the YouTube side of things here. Amazingly, we want to reuse details, and we're going to reuse it from the most recent release, like Happy Clappy. Cool, reuse, and now change this to Mad Hatter Tea Party. No copyright, Ableton Live template download. Easy to use Ableton Live template downloads, da-da-da-da-da. And now you download this one on Patreon, not on Gumroad. Let's do two things. One is access the Patreon link, which is here. And that's actually only scheduled for December 7th. So let's get I wonder if it's possible to get the link. There it is, yeah. Patreon posts, edit. What if I tried to see what it looked like even though it's not live yet? Okay, not working, fine. See, there's a lot of like complexities around this stuff. Like, how do you, if you're scheduling posts, how do you get the link for the post and embed it into YouTube, and when do you schedule YouTube? So this is the art of actually making your music public, is all of this nerdy freaking publishing stuff. It's taken me so long to get to a point where I'm comfortable. I'm not even really that comfortable now. Like right now, for example, I've just noticed that the upload for Mad Hatter Tea Party is not actually working. Why would that be? Probably because the file size is too big. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over to Mad Hatter Tea Party. So I don't have any feedback on that. Like, they don't actually show you that. They just give you a red line around the upload. Okay, so what are we doing next is this. Okay, what I'm doing now is I've got Format Factory open, and I'm just going to convert the WAV files, the stems, into MP3. I want ukulele, horns, percussion, whistle, all of that stuff to be an MP3 high quality file. So let's start that conversion process. And it should be done in a second. The WAVs can then be deleted. Okay. Oops. WAV. What are we doing? We are... Let's leave the master WAV. Cool. Actually, no. Cool. Now we're going to try again with the upload of Mad Hatter Tea Party. Twice it has failed, and the reason I suspect is that the file size is too big. So first things first, let's see what this file size is. 72 megs. It probably would have been about 200 before. Add that to a template. Now let's go back to Patreon and see if we can upload the new attachment. Why is this important? Well, if you don't attach the files that the patron is paying for, then the patron cancels their subscription, so you've got to obviously deliver on what you say you're delivering. I was trying to work out why this thing was clipping, why this keyboard was clipping. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are holding our breath for the release of Mad Hatter Tea Party. Looks like I've already done this one. Oh no, I haven't. Okay, type is still WAV, so I've got to do the same thing for Happy Clappy. Take all the WAV files and convert them into MP3s, delete the WAVs. That was quick. Nice to see. Boom. Okay, the WAVs can go, and then Happy Clappy, the product, which is currently saved over here, needs to be zipped up. So let's add that to a zip file. That's coming up right now. Cool. That looks like it succeeded. So now we've got that same post. Let's start with the Happy Clappy publishing. If you just joined, what's going on is I'm trying to solve problems, because there are a lot of problems when you try to publish your own music templates, as you know, for patronage or for direct download as a digital product. One of the problems I've realized is that platforms like Patreon exist. They have their limits, and one of the limits I've found now is like file upload. So previously, what you're looking at now is the file uploading, but it failed to upload. It just gave me kind of an error warning color around the box, but without giving any reason, without saying, for example, the file template you've uploaded is too big, whatever. There's a file size limit. So I had to figure that out on my own, re-export the files, redo everything, and that's how I'm able to publish this thing. That type of thing, that type of stupid, like nerdy admin stuff is the job. The fun part is playing this piano, and it's about 5 to 10% of this kind of modest collection that I've published over the years of like 500 tracks. I've had to figure out so much this kind of thing, and working out what the platform limitations are, and trying to work out the quickest way to do that, quickest way to go about publishing your music. So I'm sorry, it's not great news. This isn't one of those channels where I tell you how you can become a star or try and like sell you something. It's really just presenting the information and saying, well, I think you can do it. It's a long tail approach. You can make money off music. You can, put your stuff into the, on the internet, on YouTube and wherever else it's going to get noticed, and attract clients and attract customers and grow a community and all that stuff. It's possible, but I think you got to be really patient, and you got to be a bit of a nerd. You got to really love figuring out problems online, and as much as you love making music, because the simpler a solution is, the more limiting it actually is going to be for you. The less likely it's going to be to present like a full solution for your needs. So for example, like DistroKid, really easy. You just upload your album, do a bit of tagging, pay them $20 a year. But what happens? You could end up, probably near the bottom of a pile, a database. Spotify is a database. It's not a shopping mall. and no one's going to notice you unless you've got some other plan to, you know, push your music or, you know, like outshine the competition. Whereas with this approach, it's not actually that common. What I'm doing, if you Google, you know, music templates, you'll find a lot of, you know, SEO optimized results. But it's actually not that common for somebody to put in this kind of labor into delivering these quality products like that don't just sound like generic templates, you know, sort of stock music. There's something to them, and that's why people have continually downloaded my stuff and used my stuff and you know, provided me with a little bit of side hustle income for the last 5 years. So that's why I want to share all this stuff with you. It's demystifying it, but it's also de-glamorizing it, the whole process of becoming, you know, a working musician. It's about synergy with these, like, you know, online systems and finding a way to, like, make that solution for yourself rather than just relying on, like, out-the-box stuff. And it's problem solving, and it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but you can do it. You can get there. You really can. I'm starting, you know, it's like, no, I'm always starting something, but like over the years I've seen the steady growth, and now what I'm realizing is sort of possibly more in demand than music tracks is the ability to actually edit those tracks yourself, whether that's for commercial reasons or for just learning, publishing. So there's an educational aspect to this, but mostly it's about connecting with people, connecting with others who are music producers and perhaps are new or newer to Ableton, Reaper than I am, and sharing that information and sharing those products and like paying it forward or paying it onwards or whatever. Happy Clappy is finished downloading. The tier is the $6 tier. I might add another tier later, but for now, save that. Cool. Now we have posts, and we should have in Patreon. I don't want that to I don't want that to play. There was something playing there. Now what you see is the post itself, yeah, in the collection over there. 1 down, 1 to go. There is another aspect to this, which is Gumroad, and I'll show you what we're doing on Gumroad. Jeez, how long does it take? Like trying to type in the word products and cool. Let's find my Mad Hatter Tea Party product. Alice in Wonderland type soundtrack music. Okay, it's more like, I'm going to just change that now. Children's party soundtrack. Children's party music. Okay, cool. Let's just change to that. The usage and license FAQ is done, and I'm going to also just change the YouTube description to this. Okay. Download the Ableton project. Download the master track and Ableton project, remix and republish. Okay. Now, because this has two components to it, firstly there's the track itself, and then there is the templates. I'm going to say Ableton Live template. Actually, I do this. I call it everything. And then I say, to find out what I'm going to write in here, I'm going to just find a previous product and duplicate that. So what we're doing today, if you've just joined, is I am packaging music templates. It's kind of the less glamorous side of the music composition journey that I'm on, but it is certainly necessary because I need to put the work that I've done in a format that people actually want and need. So one thing I've noticed is that people use these tracks that I make a lot in their videos and their podcasts and even their games, but I also feel that there is a need to produce and release these templates of the tracks themselves, so that people can actually have access to the individual files and the projects, and make their own versions of it if needed. So what have I got here? This is the Ableton Live template, WAV stems and master track, no crediting required. So I can just copy and paste that description from there. I'm going to put an additional amount of 15 on this. That's going to be my choice of pricing for today. And as you see from this template, we can say the original amount is actually 0, but the suggested amount is, let's call it 5. No, let's call it 6. Cool. So we're going to do the same here, original amount and suggested amount. Now we've got 2 tiers. With Gumroad, they allow you to make tiers. The tier 1 that I've got over here is called Everything. And then there's a tier called the Free Stuff, which is 0. So let's replicate this for Mad Hatter Tea Party. We've got an Everything tier, and I'm going to add another version called the Free Stuff. And all we want here is MP3 master track only, crediting required, 0 amount. Right, good. Let's go over to content. We've got Mad Hatter Tea Party bass ukulele that belong in the Everything package. Now we're also going to add the zip file with the Ableton template itself, Mad Hatter Tea Party template. And then the Free Stuff, we'll just make sure that only the Mad Hatter Tea Party file is included in that. So what are we doing today? We're packaging music templates. I've got Gumroad open in front of me. Gumroad, if you're not aware, is a way to sell digital content. It's really good for independent creators like me. And in the past 5 years, I have made around $5,000 in online sales through Gumroad. That's not excluding kind of license work, custom jobs, commissions, anything like that. That's literally just money that you make while you sleep. If you've got a presence elsewhere and you can direct people to download your stuff on Gumroad, I can highly recommend it. I think it's a really good product for people in my position. So we're releasing audio files via one of these Gumroad products. It's just going to take a couple of minutes to upload. And I think I've just figured out a hack, something I might be able to do. One of the problems I'm facing, like I said, these platforms have their own limitations. One of the problems I'm facing is that Gumroad does not allow, it has a file size limit of, a product size limit of 250 megs for free products. They obviously don't want to be a free file hosting service, so unless you're charging something, they cap you there. But with versions, you are able to release your product as either a free tier or as a paid tier. So perhaps there's a way to use that on Gumroad to create a paid tier for your product, or like a tip tier, like, you know, chuck $5 in the hat if you feel generous, but actually have everything available for free. That might be one hack to kind of get around Gumroad's 250 meg file size limitation for free products. Okay, today what I'm doing, as I do most days, is I'm composing music, but not today. Today is the actual admin side of things. Earlier in the week, I do admin side of things, and what I'm doing now is saving the changes on this Gumroad product called Mad Hatter Tea Party, which is an Ableton Live template that I release via both Patreon for paid subscribers and via Gumroad for individual sales and people who are not into, you know, patronage. So I've saved the changes to that. That means Mad Hatter Tea Party, the product with the code VQKXS, is now live, and I'm able to head back over to my own YouTube channel, and let's find that product and update its description so that I can direct people to the relevant video, the relevant product. Looking for Mad Hatter. Cool. It's not showing up, but that's fine. Then we go over to here and we say, I want to edit this one, please. It's only got 5,000 views. Oops, what happened? What happened to my search? Mad Hatter Tea Party. Open. Okay, don't play. Edit video. You can say download it. What I'm going to do now is edit the YouTube description just to give a very clear idea of what is going on. There we go, download via Gumroad. Let's get it up in caps. Download on Gumroad, and then I'm going to also put the description that I had here. Perfect kids party music that plays on a loop and haunts your dreams forever. There we go. And then let's get download on Gumroad. Looks like I screwed up. I need to actually keep that link in place. There we go. Cool. Download on Gumroad goes over there. And download on Patreon should also be an option. So we've got edit post Patreon. There we go. Boom. I'm going to just add it in here, even though it's only live on the 7th of December. I'm going to just, put it in so I don't have to think about it later. Download on Patreon, download on Gumroad. This drives a little bit of traffic to both my Gumroad profile and my Patreon page. But, at the end of the day, this is one of my more popular videos. Let's change the title to children's music. I think it's called children's music. Children's party music. Video details. Let's just change that to there. And I'm going to say no copyright because it really hasn't got a copyright. Children's party music. Good. All right, so that hopefully is clear. There's so many ways to slice this cake, but okay, cool. All right, so that is a whole bunch of admin. I've managed to get a new product online today, which keeps me in line with my Patreon release schedule. So it's all about getting this stuff out there and making it available to people. I think I'm gonna kind of call it a day for now. I feel like there's been a lot of talking and all of that, but hopefully it's been useful to anyone who is, a music producer asking the question, how do I make money from my music? Everyone wants to know how to make money from your music. Well, I don't know. All I know is how to make $5,000 in 5 years using Gumroad and Patreon. In fact, Patreon I haven't really even used, but my statistics on Free Music Archive are like approaching 1 million now, because people know about me because I've released so much stuff online, like 500 tracks. So let's just find out. Let's just take a quick look at my profile. This is not something I do too regularly, I promise. I've got to change that because literally 780,000 plays, 330 tracks. And this is just also another income stream. I got a tip from someone like this week. So getting your stuff out there is the way to do it, and creating awareness about what you do, and getting people to root for you by just showing up again and again with generosity is, in my opinion, is a good use of your time. Speaking of time, it's kind of up, and I thank you if you've just stopped by and checking out the stream. I'm a passionate teacher and also a music composer, and today I've been working on releasing these template files, these packs, via a combination of platforms. Thank you very much for being a part of this. If you like the channel and you see the value in it, obviously subscribe and chat and stop by. I will be doing streams every day, 2 p.m. UTC, so mornings in the United States. My name is John.